Hello, it's Lorna Wagner from Maritime UK, and this afternoon we're talking with Kristian about his career pathway. So, Kristian, hello, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Can I ask you to introduce yourself, tell us who you work for and what your job title is, please?
Certainly. So my name is Kristian Thaller. I'm a program manager at the National Oceanography Centre based in Southampton. And I work with marine autonomous and robotic systems and guiding the engineering development of those to support the UK science community.
That's brilliant, thank you. And we can see one behind you on the backdrop. It's the yellow one rather than Nessie. So my questions to you are: what drew you to maritime?
If I'm honest, it was an accident. I moved in, so I did my PhD in physics. And then I was in a startup company doing engineering for medical devices. But when that went bust, I was looking for a new job. And after a little loop through another project management role, I found this role at the National Oceanography Centre. And I've really enjoyed it because it's given me the opportunity to apply that engineering background that I have in a setting where you can really make a difference to the world, to climate change, and so I've felt very supported by the organisation, and hence I've stayed.
Brilliant, thank you. And so you've almost answered my next question. So your entry route was by applying for a full-time job. You had transferable skills, although you hadn't worked in a marine science environment in the past.
That's correct. So my skills were in engineering primarily. In my interim job at the university, I had the opportunity to take some project management qualifications to develop my theoretical knowledge in that area, and also the experience to take into this role. And since I've been at the NOC, I've been able to do an apprenticeship in general management, because I also lead the project management team within NOC, and that's also been a very valuable experience for me, and I'm really appreciate having been able to do that.
That's interesting. So you did an apprenticeship after your degree?
Yes.
PhD, in fact.
It was probably more useful.
Fantastic. So can I ask you what your career highlight has been to date?
I think my career highlight has to be the project I'm involved in at the moment, where we are scoping what we call the future net zero oceanographic capability. So that's working out how the UK will deliver science in a net zero way in 10 years time or 15 years time. And I just really feel like I'm making a difference to the world, and that when we get there, I'll be able to look back and see just how much this work now has changed how the whole UK marine science community works. And it's just a privilege to be a part of that.
That's something to get really excited about, actually, and I'm sure you will look back on it with pride. Is there a single person who has been particularly supportive or influential in your own career pathway?
I'd say the most important person for me has to be my father, because what I've really learned from him was that the most important thing in your career is to do something that you enjoy and to get job satisfaction, and that needs to trump everything else. And that's what I've tried to take with me forwards, and I think that's part of the reason why I enjoy my job so much.
Yeah, well, they say, don't they, if you find a job that you enjoy, it stops feeling like work. I've heard that said before. Yeah. And the last question then, so if you had the opportunity to give your 16-year-old self some advice, what would that be?
I was very lucky with getting into my job, in that I did it without really having any work experience at all prior to finishing my PhD. And I recognized that it was lucky that I still got into the workplace. And I would really advise myself, make sure you find work experience. even if it's alongside continued academic study, because you want to go to an academic route, it really does matter to your development and to your career prospects. So that's what I would have told myself.
That's sound advice. Kristian, thank you very much for giving us your time.
Pleasure.